Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming, and somebody on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you on the Let's Play episode of Repeat, Owen's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! No fair, princess, Owen cried. Hell free you! Together we will live in peace and happiness! Princess Phillip gratefully accepted, and so they rode off into the sunset and lived happily ever after. That was actually a pretty good story. And the two had hardcore sex for the rest of the night. You just had to ruin it, didn't you? That's my job, Adrian. My phone suddenly buzzed again, but this time the message was not from Owen. Oh. And did it just... Is it just not saving? That's so fucking weird. There we go. That's the most recent one. There we go. Okay. I waved my hand dismissively. What's a nurse gonna do against a supernatural flu? Just take me back to my dorm? If she can make it through a lifetime of being sick, I can make it through one night. I sighed and pressed on my weight over Echo's shoulder as he slowly guided me down the hall. It felt weird, being able to touch him for once. His skin felt cold and rigid like a cadaver. Adrian? Yeah? You're doing the right thing, and I'm proud of you for that. I'll stick by your side as long as I'm able. I will keep you safe. Heh, thanks. I felt exhausted, like I was slowly recovering from a high fever. Halley really didn't pull any punches this time around. I could feel my blood throbbing in my head, my every breath burning against my dry throat. Honestly, I couldn't even falter for being upset. That was a long road to walk, only to be let down at the end. I made such big promises, but would I be able to make a difference this time around? I've probably tossed and turned in my bed for hours now, but still couldn't get any decent sleep. I felt like my fever had gotten worse. My whole body was aching as though it was on fire. I groaned and tried to sit up. My exhausted body promptly pitched forward and almost fell off the bed. A pair of strong hands held me upright just before I face planted into the dorm floor. Adrian, you alright? You look like you've gotten worse. I let out a feverish giggle and poked at Echo's sides. Huh? A finger slid right through him. I think he mentioned something about it taking extra effort to be tangible or something. A concerned frown was plastered across Echo's face as he helped me back onto the bed. Adrian, you're really hot. Ha! Thanks! Are you flirting with me? The edge of his mouth twitched into the ghost of a smile. That'd be really something, wouldn't it? You learning to love yourself? I felt his hand press against my heated forehead and leaned into his cool touch with a sigh. She's put a light curse on you. Halley's fond of her diseases. It's not too bad, though. You should be up and running again with a good night's sleep. Hey, Echo? Hmm? There. You ever talked to Halley before? About this whole goose chase we're tangled in? Like, what's her deal? Echo stared thoughtfully outside the windows towards the pitch-black sky above. We've never talked much, at least I don't think so. We remember more than you, but we don't always remember everything. All I know is that she's Ginny's wish and that she hates your guts. Presumably for good reason. Do you think we can ever get on her good side? Echo snorted. You're welcome to try. I wouldn't hold my breath, though. Halley, she might not look like it, but she's old. Like, absolutely ancient. Very rude thing to say to a lady. I'm being serious. As a shooting star, I'm pretty short-lived as far as wishes are concerned. The other ones we've met are all within a mortal lifespan. But Halley? She feels like she's been around for a long, long time. And she's got the smell of death and ashes about her. Echo shuddered. Honestly, I'm surprised she's been fairly restrained around us. She could do so much more damage if she wanted to. Speaking of other wishes, there's been something else I've been thinking about. You and Halley, you both look pretty normal, yeah? Like a copy of the people who wished you. But the other wishes we've seen, they all look kind of monstrous. Why is that? An uncomfortable grimace fell across Echo's face and he leaned back stiffly. Well, it's kind of, he sighed. Adrian, all wishes look kind of fucked up. It's just how we are. But you and Halley, this isn't how we normally look. We chose to put on a face, to look less scary. He smiled softly. It was easier this way. Less likely to scare off kids. Echo fell silent and ran his fingers softly through my hair. He had that bittersweet smile on his face again. I wouldn't have been scared. Honestly, that'd be even more depressing. Some wishes should be scary. I yelped as Echo suddenly poked my nose. Anyway, it doesn't look like you'll be sleeping anytime soon. How about we get you something to eat, or maybe some fresh air? I don't think I'm well enough to walk anywhere, to tell you the truth. No worries, little man. I'll carry you. So, where do you want to go? It's in the kitchen. Well, I guess I'm feeling a bit hungry right now. The kitchen it is, then. Here, hold on to my shoulder. I'll carry you there. As I reached up, Echo placed his arm firmly around my waist as I climbed onto my wobbly legs. My head felt a bit dizzy being upright, but it was nice to be out of bed. Alright, let's go. One step at a time. Jeez, I feel like an elderly granny being helped across the street. You're not sweet or tiny enough to be a granny. Are you just gonna let me lie in the middle of the road and get hit by a truck? Get a move on, you whippersnapper. Got it, Grandpa. We entered the kitchen and Echo carefully led me to a seat at the kitchen table. It was pretty dark in here. I could barely see a thing. Hey, I think I hear someone coming. Maybe you should hide yourself or something. Don't worry about it, Adrian. You're the only one who can see me anyway. There you go. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we? Suddenly the lights flicked on as someone strolled into the room. Oh, hey, Sissel. Oh, so that's Sissel. Let me see if I can get... roof. Okay, some fresh air sounded pretty good right about now. How about the roof? The roof it is, then. Here, hold on to my shoulder. I'll carry you there. As I reached up, Echo placed his arm firmly around my waist as I climbed onto my wobbly legs. My head felt a bit dizzy being upright, but it's nice to be out of my bed. Alright, let's go. One step at a time. Jeez, I feel like an elderly granny being helped across the street. You're not sweet and... Okay, I already did that, okay. Alright, I think Phillip is up here? Okay, the cool night breeze felt heavenly compared to the heat from earlier. Stars twinkled above in the dark sky like 1,000 diamonds. The tranquil view definitely put my mind at ease. As the two of us limped onto the roof, I let out a sigh of relief. This is nice. Echo was staring up at the starry sky wistfully. He looked a bit sad, actually. Hey, Echo, are you? There's someone already here. Is it alright for you to be here? Don't worry about it, Adrian. Remember, nobody can see me but you. He gently helped me into one of the chairs, and I'm finally close enough to see who the other person was. Oh, hey there, Phillip. Oh, good evening. Adrian, are you alright? You look like you just woke from the dead. Gee, thanks. You really know how to up a guy's self-esteem. Never mind that. Wait right here. I'll go get you some tea and aspirin. A few minutes later, Phillip came running back with a steaming kettle of fresh tea and a bottle of fever medicine. You know, usually my parents give me nice cold ice cream to cool down a fever. Nonsense. Sugar is bad for you. And now drink your tea. You'll feel better. Who knew you'd be such a mother hen? Phillip shot me a wry smile as I took a sip. Huh, this stuff's actually pretty good. The fresh, lightly bitter taste is rather refreshing on the tongue. I took another sip as Phillip grabbed a cool towel to wipe the sweat off my forehead. Well, at least you're staying hydrated after sweating so much. I usually drink tea whenever I'm feeling unwell, and it always manages to relax me. The bitterness gives me energy. That does sound like you. Phillip laid a cool towel on my forehead, wiping away the sweat and grime that had built up. Why don't you lie down a bit while I towel you off? The chairs recline. Sure. Ah, that feels a lot better. I'm just going to wipe off all the sweat you have going on here. I'm going to have to undo your pajama shirt. Is that all right? I don't mind. Phillip kneeled down in front of me and slowly unbuttoned the front of my shirt. Having him this close to my exposed chest was a bit embarrassing. He took the damp towel and began wiping away the gross film of sweat that had built up on my front and back. The cool water felt pretty nice against the refreshing night breeze. We've got rather intimately close to each other. Phillip doesn't seem to notice, or if he did, he was ignoring it. His fingers worked his way against my back muscles, massaging away the pain. Have you done this before? This feels great. And giving massages to sick people on school roofs in the middle of the night? Can't say I have. Why are you even up here so late anyway? I'm just finishing up some work for my classes. And also avoiding Owen. Sure enough, there were papers and notebooks scattered everywhere on the ground. How did I not notice? How are things going with the two of you? I know the guy can be a bit much sometimes, but I think he's genuinely okay once you get used to him. Phillip grumbled under his breath. I don't dislike him, per se. He's just a bit too touchy-feely for my own comfort. He gives hugs and claps my back without warning, even after I've asked him to cut it out. Aw, he's just being friendly. I don't like being touched, if you haven't noticed. He's got no sense of personal space, you know? You've been massaging my back without any issues so far. Heh, I'm glad to be in your good graces. Philip let out a tired sigh. There's nothing going on here. I'm just helping out a friend. You're sweaty and feverish. Absolutely disgusting. Oof, can't you be a bit more gentle? I'm very fragile right now. Philip smirked and tossed the damp towel on my face. No. Don't get sick, dumbass. Very sound advice. You've cured me. I try my best. I let out a laugh that slowly turned into a yawn. My body shivered as I stood up to stretch. Getting sleepy? Looks like the medicine's doing its job. Let's get you back to bed now. Philip walked me back to my room, walked me back to my dorm, with me limping along weakly the whole way. The fever had gone down a bit, but I still feel like roadkill. Sleep took me as soon as my head hit the pillow. Before I drifted off, I heard Philip gently place a fresh cup of tea on my bedside table. The warm aroma filled my room with a soft, comforting scent. Sweet dreams, Adrian. Day 3. Abandoned Wishes. The morning sun filtered through my window. It said, "Hey, let's stab this poor kid's eyeballs until he's awake." With a groan, I sat up and rubbed the drowsiness from my eyes. It seemed like my fever was completely gone. I hopped out of bed and stretched. Huh? Looked like someone left a small assortment of stuff on my table. There was a potted plant with brilliant blue flowers. The note next to it read, "Hope you feel better soon, Philip." There was also a large pile of hand-baked pastries, obviously from Sissel. And then there were socks? Nothing's worse than cold feet when you're sick. Owen. Oh, that's nice of them. Oof! Adrian, how are you feeling? Has your fever passed? Ah, Echo, get your hands off my face. You seem pretty alright. Looks like your friends worried over nothing. They all snuck into your room last night and left a bunch of gifts. Owen tried to give you a good night kiss, but Sissel and Philip dragged him away before he could. How thoughtful. Philip's choice of flowers is kind of weird, though. Forget-me-nots are usually for funerals. That kid's got a morbid sense of humor. They're a pretty shade of blue, though. Flowers aside, Adrian, you better head off to class soon. I think there's an event happening today. Here, I'll help you get dressed. Ugh, I can dress myself. Don't need to baby me. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to have a quick shout out to lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our not safe for work contents as little as $5. If y'all want to donate to our Patreon, you can donate using Super Thanks on YouTube. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!